We need to create spaces where kids can be unplugged and can build human relationships with their peers.
Colorado lawmakers are considering a bipartisan bill that would require school districts to adopt some sort of policy on cell phone use in classrooms across the state. They'll be hearing that bill next week. It would apply to public schools and charter schools. In the Pikes Peak region, more schools are adopting bans or limited use policies, that is, when it comes to phones in the classroom. Our Alasyn Zimmerman went to St. Mary's, a high school in Colorado Springs, which was one of the first in our area to implement a cell phone ban.
High school comes with all sorts of challenges for teens. Finishing assignments, balancing activities, and on some days, making sure that hair looks just right.
Right, but we did subtraction at the end of it, limited.
Seamus McGuire has been teaching for several years.
Good fix on that. Okay.
But this is his first at St. Mary's High School in Colorado Springs.
I just don't notice it. That's my favorite part of it.
He's talking about the school's cell phone policy. Students cannot have phones in class. It can be in their backpack or their locker.
There's a large shift that happens when you come from middle school to high school. And I think by having that policy in place, they know, oh, it's the same thing as learning how to study more for their biology class or learning how to manage their time better for coursework and extracurriculars. It just becomes a part of what they do here.
McGuire says he occasionally allows students to use phones for timers and photos for his science classes. St. Mary's is a smaller school of a few hundred students. The cell phone policy first went into effect 2 years ago.
And I would say when it first started, when we first weren't allowed to, yes, it was hard.
Rachel Lim is now a senior at the school.
We've been no phone use for so long that we don't even want to use it anymore. It's become so normal to just leave it alone that we don't feel the need to pull it out during class.
She says she's noticed a big difference in how she interacts with her classmates and how she pays attention in class.
I remember my freshman year having it on my desk. It was hard to pay attention in class because I'm listening to what the teacher's saying and then I could feel the vibration of my phone. And so I'd want to check it and then all of a sudden my attention's gone. And then now looking at my senior year, phones are away, we're engaged in lively conversations and it's so much more fun.
McGuire says he sees the impact of the cell phone ban beyond his own classroom.
One thing that we have to look at is how it affected teachers as well. And one thing that's been really beneficial to me, being in an environment that's pretty locked down on phones, is I see, well, I shouldn't be just pulling out my phone to talk all the time. I use technology in my classroom, but I'm not pulling it out to scroll through Instagram or do anything like that. And I think that's something that I've learned from the students.
And that student you just heard from, Rachel, says she even finds herself using her phone less outside of the classroom since this policy went into effect. Last year, the Pew Research Center released a study of high school teachers. 72% of them said that cell phone use distraction is a problem in the classroom. And more than 60% of them said that it's a difficult policy for them to enforce. Alasyn Zimmerman, News 5.